Sue Parker, founder of Elite, Empowered Leaders in Tech and Head of Business Intelligence at a global organisation. I wanted to make this video because so many people ask me, how do I get promoted, Sue? How do I make my managers see that I'm ready for that next step? I'm ready to be team leader. I'm ready to be manager of the department. I'm ready to be the head of, I'm ready to be a director. How do you get people to really recognise the value in you and that you want to progress? And it's certainly a really challenging area. So I wanted to create this video because I know exactly what it feels like. I spent a long period of my career being overlooked. I thought that nobody recognised the value in me and nobody wanted to give me a chance for a while. And it feels like it's hopeless. There's nothing you can do about it. And you can start to feel really down about yourself, as if you're not cut out for it. Your face doesn't fit. You might move organisations a few times and just keep sidestepping, but never actually progressing. And my mission today is to talk you through some of the shifts that you can make so that, like me, you can take yourself from a position of being overlooked and constantly sidestepping in your career to becoming a head of business intelligence, leading a large team, running a data warehouse if you want to, and all the things that come with that. So I'm going to talk to you about an approach that means shifting some of your behaviour and also taking some actions, because I know that by doing these things, myself and the colleagues I've helped have managed to progress and go to the next level and beyond. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through 4 shifts in behaviour that are going to get you lined up and considered for your next promotion. So the first thing, and it sounds really simple to do, is to tell your manager. Why? Because there are so many managers out there who believe you are happy doing your job. You're just happy to continue to do what you do because you don't say otherwise. You don't make it explicitly clear otherwise. And maybe you do, but sometimes your actions don't reflect that. So for example, I've had team members where they wanted to continue to develop their SQL skills, and therefore I've assumed that what they want to do is become more specialist in their field, as opposed to progressing up a career ladder in terms of leadership. So I was quite surprised when a team member told me that they would like to progress into my role. And that took a lot of courage. So if you're in that position now, do it. As a manager hearing that, I actually felt really good, because no longer did I have a succession planning issue, nor did I have a member of staff that didn't want to progress, and therefore I was going to constantly be saying, come on, you need to do something this year. In terms of your performance, we need to move to the next level. This makes it easy for both parties. I know where you want to get to, and you know that I will support you in that. And it doesn't mean to say you're after their role straight away. We need to be fearful of that. So the first thing is make it known. They might think you're really happy, you're quite content in doing what you're doing now. Now the second shift in behaviour is about making your behaviour fit what you're saying. So take ownership and stop making excuses if you are. Take ownership for making sure things happen. And one of the ways you can do that is by bringing solutions to the table and not just problems. So quite often when you have a team member that comes to you with problems all the time, looking for you to help them with the solutions, sometimes you feel that actually they're too junior to be able to support the rest of the team in solving their problems. Now that's not to say you shouldn't come to a manager looking for support, guidance and coaching. Definitely not. Always do that. But as much as you can, bring suggested solutions to the table. It might be that your leader doesn't know all the ins and outs of what you're dealing with. So when you bring those solutions to the table, as well as the problem, they're able to see that you're trying to find a solution given the information that you have. And instead of that person then having to understand everything about your role to try and help you come to the right conclusion, because that is really challenging. You know what it's like when you're asked to help on somebody else's project and you just don't understand the details. It can be really challenging, really tough. So as much as you can, take ownership for the delivery of something and take ownership for sorting out the problems that go with it. That goes a long way to proving that even without that leader, you are still a responsible person who can take something on. Then the third thing is to organise and take responsibility of others. So the biggest thing you do as a leader is you lead others. You organise, resource, and you lead other people to the right solution or whatever it is that you've got to achieve, the delivery, the output. And in doing that, you need to show that you can run small projects. Maybe it's organising one of the administration tasks in your remit. Maybe it's doing a project that requires input and resource in the rest of your team and that you have to organise. Whatever it is, prove, show that you can organise and take responsibility and that you're not always pushing the responsibility up to your line manager to organise these things for you. Go that extra mile. If that means making a phone call, reaching out to somebody to organise something, by all means you can check in afterwards, is the resource allocation okay? Or maybe on the stand-up, I need a particular amount of resource. Am I okay to talk to X, Y and Z about that? And that shows taking initiative to lead on something, taking responsibility. And the fourth shift is actually asking for responsibilities. There'll be loads of things that your leader, your line manager takes on that they don't want to. Trust me, I'm the world's worst at this, and maybe you are too. You have things that you hold on to closely because you don't feel you can trust in the people beneath you or the people around you to take responsibility in those areas. You feel that if they do it, they might get it wrong, and then there might be other repercussions. So you carry on doing it yourself. I remember going through a time management session once where we had to look at everything as a leader we had to do. And we had to draw out the sections that we could actually delegate, the ones that we were uncomfortable delegating but we could if we explained them, and the things that absolutely had to be me that dealt with. That list of things to delegate, when I was questioned why I still wasn't delegating, the answer was always, I don't know who in my team I can trust to do those things, so I'd just rather do them myself. Be that team member that steps up and says, actually, I can do this, I can take that responsibility, I will make that work. And if I don't know how to do it, you can show me and I will figure it out and I will learn it and I will then be responsible for it. As soon as you start to do that, you're taking on those responsibilities. That leader, that team manager knows that you are now a person they can trust and rely on to do things. Try not to think of this as taking on extra work. You still need to feed back, remember, to your line manager what your workload is like. You know, if you have a daily stand-up, you should be doing that. If you're having a weekly review, raise it. Raise it that you've got priority conflict and what should you be working on. But try and hang on to the things that show responsibility. If you want to progress, the things you want to do more of are those, and the more menial tasks are the ones that you'd like to be given to the more junior members of the team, so that it gives them the opportunity to progress as well. And everybody progresses and grows. That's the sign of a really successful team. I know that by taking these steps, you will build your professional brand at work, in your own team, with your manager, and with those other stakeholders around that you'll be dealing with. You will really start to build your profile in a very positive way that'll support you when it comes to the next promotion. Recognition gets fed back, it gets fed up the line, out, it gets fed in every direction. People will start to talk about you as you start to make these shifts in your behaviour at work, and that will help opportunities become open to you and your profile to be raised, people becoming aware of you and raising your credibility. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you're going to make these shifts so that next time there's a promotion on the cards, you're first in line. If you enjoyed this video, then hit subscribe, and together we will build you a successful career. Bye for now.